Dear students, today we are starting the second part of fourth unit, that is wave optics. The chapter's name is diffraction. First we define diffraction. The bending of light round corners of an obstacle is called diffraction. The first topic is Fraunhofer diffraction at single slit. In this figure, AB is the single slit whose width is A. S is the source of monochromatic light. L1 is the convex lens and L2 is another convex lens. The rays after L1 become parallel and fall on slit AB. These rays are undeviated rays focusing at point O on the screen, and these rays are diffracted rays at an angle of theta focusing at point P of the screen. To find the diffraction pattern, we have to find the resultant amplitude between the rays on screen at point P. So normal AK is drawn on BK. This is the normal AK drawn on BK. This angle will be theta. The path difference BK, this is BK, is equal to AB sin theta from the triangle ABK is equal to A sin theta, or phase difference by the formula. Phase difference is equal to 2 pi upon lambda into path difference is equal to 2 pi upon lambda A sin theta. Equation number 1. If number of waves between A and B is n, then the phase difference between two successive waves delta is equal to 1 upon n 2 pi upon lambda A sin theta. That is the phase difference. Equation number 2. According to theory of composition of n waves, the resultant amplitude at point P R is equal to A sin n delta y2 upon sin delta y2 is equal to A sin pi A sin theta upon lambda upon sin 1 upon n pi A sin theta upon lambda. This is equation number 3. Or R is equal to A sin alpha upon n, where alpha is equal to pi A sin theta upon lambda. For large value of n, alpha upon n will tending to 0. Therefore, sin alpha upon n is equal to alpha upon n. Hence, R is equal to A sin alpha upon n, or R, that is the resultant amplitude, is equal to NA sin alpha upon alpha. Equation number 4. Now the intensity at point P, I is equal to R square is equal to N square A square sin square alpha upon alpha square, or I is equal to A square sin square alpha upon alpha square. This is equation number 5, where A is equal to NA. Now we have to find out the conditions for maxima and minimum. Expanding equation number 4, R is equal to A sin alpha upon alpha is equal to A upon alpha, and this is the value of sin alpha. Alpha minus alpha cube upon factorial 3 plus alpha 5 upon factorial 5 minus alpha 7 upon factorial 7, or is equal to A 1 minus alpha square upon factorial 3 plus alpha 4 upon factorial 5 minus alpha 6 upon factorial 7, and so on. R will be maximum if alpha is equal to 0. That is pi A sin theta upon lambda is equal to 0, or theta is equal to 0. That is, the resultant intensity at point P will be maximum for theta is equal to 0 and called the principal maxima. Hence, intensity of principal maxima is equal to A square. Here I would like to show the intensity distribution curve, which will be discussed finally in this topic. This is the intensity distribution curve. This is principal maxima. This is first secondary maxima, second secondary maxima, and so on. And these are the minima. First minima, second minima, third minima, and so on. Further, position of minima. It is clear from equation number 5 that the intensity will be minimum when sin alpha is equal to 0 but alpha not equal to 0. That is, alpha is equal to plus minus m pi, or pi a sin theta upon lambda is equal to plus minus m pi, or in general a sin theta is equal to plus minus m lambda. This is equation number 6 and the condition of minima. The values of m is equal to 1, 2, 3 ... Give the directions of first, second, third minima. Secondary maxima. Differentiating equation number 5 with respect to alpha and equating it to 0. We have di upon d alpha is equal to d over d alpha a square sin alpha upon alpha square is equal to 0 is equal to a square 2 sin alpha upon alpha a cos alpha minus sin alpha upon alpha square is equal to 0. From this we conclude that either sin alpha upon alpha is equal to 0, or alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha is equal to 0, or alpha is equal to tan alpha. Here sin alpha upon alpha is equal to 0 gives the position of principal maxima except alpha is equal to 0, which is already we have taken. Now the position of secondary maxima is given by alpha is equal to tan alpha. This is equation number 7. This equation can be solved graphically by plotting the curves y is equal to alpha and y is equal to tan alpha. So we have drawn this curve. This is the straight line making an angle 45 degree to the x-axis and passing through the origin. It is y is equal to alpha, and these discontinuous curves are y is equal to tan alpha. In this figure, equation y is equal to alpha is a straight line passing through origin and making an angle of 45 degree with x-axis, as I told you. The equation y is equal to tan alpha is a discontinuous curve. The points of intersections of these two curves give the values of alpha, satisfying equation alpha is equal to tan alpha. So the points of intersections are alpha is equal to 0, plus minus 3 pi by 2, plus minus 5 pi by 2, plus minus 7 pi by 2, and so on. The first value of alpha is equal to 0 gives the position of principal maxima, while the values of alpha is equal to plus minus 3 pi by 2, plus minus 5 pi by 2, and so on, gives the position of the first secondary maxima, second secondary maxima, and so on. Now we have to find out the intensities of secondary maxima. So first we take the intensity of first secondary maxima, in which we are taking alpha is equal to 3 pi by 2. From equation number 5, I1 is equal to a square sine 3 pi by 2 upon 3 pi by 2 whole square is equal to a square upon 22 is equal to I naught upon 22 is equal to 4 9 pi square a square, where I naught is the intensity of principal maxima. Again, the intensity of secondary maxima, in which alpha is equal to 5 pi by 2. From equation number 5, we again have I2 is equal to a square sine pi by 2 upon pi by 2 whole square is equal to a square upon 62 is equal to I naught upon 62 is equal to 4 upon 25 pi square into a square. Similarly, we can find out the intensity of third secondary maxima, in which we can take the alpha is equal to 7 pi by 2, and finally we get this result: I3 is equal to a square upon 121 is equal to I naught upon 121 is equal to 4 upon 49 pi square into a square, and so on. Therefore, the ratio I naught is to I1 is to I2 is to I3 dot dot will be equal to 1 is to 4 upon 9 pi square is to 4 upon 25 pi square is to 4 upon 49 pi square, and so on. Also, I naught is to I1 is to I2 is to I3 dot dot is equal to 1 is to 1 upon 22 is to 1 upon 62 is to 1 upon 121, and so on. So this is the final result. Here we note intensity of the first secondary maxima, that is 4 upon 9 pi square into a square, is about 4.5% to that of intensity of principal maxima, that is a square. This is very important result which is being asked in the university examinations. Finally, we come to the distribution curve. The intensity distribution is shown in this figure. So as I told you earlier, this is the principal maxima of highest intensity. These are the secondary maxima in decreasing order of the intensity, that is first secondary maxima, second secondary maxima, third secondary maxima, and so on in both sides of the principal maxima. These are the values of angle 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and 4 pi, and these are minima, that is first minima, second minima, third minima, and so on, and this occurs in both sides of the principal maxima. Thank you so much.